Welcome to First Sundays with Black Poet Laureates, a podcast of the National Black Poet Laureate Society. I am your host, Raya Carmen, Executive Director of the Society. Each month on the first Sunday, we will celebrate the voices, visions, and verses of Black Poet Laureates across the United States. These are the poets who carry the weight and the honor of their communities, their stories, and who transform the ordinary into extraordinary. These are the poets that remind us that poetry is not just an art form. It's a lifeline, a mirror, and a beacon. The National Black Poet Laureate Society is dedicated to amplifying the work of Black Poet Laureates, fostering community among these poets and poetry lovers, and ensuring the rich tradition of Black poets. There's excellence through this organization, and it continues to thrive as we have more and more Black Poet Laureates joining our ranks. Through our anthology series, which is In the Fullness of the Word, our annual conferences and conversations like the one we're about to have, we will continue to build a living archive of Black Poet Laureate brilliance. Today, I am honored to be in conversation with the one and only haikuist and just all around bad woman, Kim B. Miller. All right, so let's dive in.
Thank you so much. I'm going to start off with a poem called Delete. So, you found my pain. It's amazing what you can find when you look. I've been screaming, crying, trying to get you to see that Black poets are being systematically excluded. But you just glossed over the tremble in my voice. Told me I wasn't hurt. I was exaggerating. You can do the same things I do. That's what you said. I can do the same things with a different outcome. I can submit poetry for consideration and watch my hope dissolve once the judge realizes I'm Black. My vernacular noted since my poetry is not dripping in familiar softness. My Blackness too unashamed, too bold, you will say. Assimilate to a more acceptable tone. Don't come off as the angry Black poet. My pain is too loud to be written softly. There is no affirmative action program for Black poets. We don't want one. We just want an equal chance to grace stages, journals, books. How can we be equal when our poetry is only valued during Black History Month? February is Find a Black Poet Month. How dare I break this stanza-based poetic flow with truth? I thought there was wool over your eyes, but maybe I chose the wrong fabric. Let me pause. This is when racism is denied, when your oppressiveness dips itself in dismissiveness. The poetic version of Miranda rights is getting ready to be recited. I just have a preference, you'll say. I say my preference is to baptize people with words, suffocate their preconceived notions, release my ink so you can see how my syllables be battle rapping each other. Go ahead. Tell me how Black pens bastardize erased real haiku, even though we are not the originators of unnatured haiku. Blame us. Blame me. The next step in your journey is a familiar fragrance. A scent of deletion. Go ahead. Hit delete. It won't be the first time our pen was lynched. You can tell yourself you tried to appreciate words fried in chicken grease, but you lack the seasoning to recognize the flavor. Go ahead. Hit delete. The last stanza of this poem has already been deleted.
Wow. Miss Kim B. Miller, please tell us a little more about yourself before we dive into this. This is going to be good, y'all. I don't even know. I don't even know if y'all ready.
So my name is Kim B. Miller. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. Spent most of my life in Long Island. So you may hear a couple of words that sound a little New Yorkish. I said I don't have an accent, but people say I still have it. That's fine. I'm good either way. I am Prince William County, Manassas and Manassas Park, Virginia, Poet Laureate Emerita, the first and only Black Poet Laureate for that region. I am a TEDx speaker. I did my first TEDx talk in May of 2025, and I also had the complete honor of being a featured guest at Spoken Word Paris in Paris, France in October of 2025. I like talking. I do facilitation. I also teach parenting classes for the county. I also facilitate other classes, been a keynote speaker, author of several books. I'm a host for a monthly open mic. So if there's words, there's me.
I love it. Okay. Okay. The opening poem, though. Okay. So I have to know, first of all, what sparked the inspiration for that piece? What were you going through like in life that sparked that piece?
I think I've talked to a lot of poets, obviously a lot of Black poets. And sometimes we get a lot of offers during February, and we are not knocking those offers for February, by the way. Absolutely love it. I love to be part of Black History Month. It is a history month for us, so we want to be included. Absolutely. We also want to be included the other months.
Yeah.
And just focusing us on February is limiting us. And it's also saying, well, you're only good for Black History Month. And I know a lot of people don't feel that way, but if you don't feel that way, but your actions show otherwise, then that's how you feel. I think
That's
it was
true.
Martin who said there comes a time when silence becomes betrayal. There comes a time when silence becomes betrayal.
Yeah.
So silence is no longer effective.
I love it. Yeah. That I mean, you just hit so many things. You say we need an equal chance to grace stages. And then and that one hit me because I feel you. Like it's like my card fills up. If I don't I need to use February to make a year's worth of income, the way the way they are inviting poets in February. But then you said, blame me for the haikus that are non-nature. Tell us a little bit more about that. Because I know you're a
So
haikuist. So yeah, I'd like to dive into that a little bit.
absolutely. For those you don't know, I absolutely love haiku. And I started off hating them, which is people are like, what, you? I know, right? So I was at an open mic, my best friend Butterfly did some haiku. I never heard of haiku. I'm like, what is that? So I went home and looked it up, which is what you're supposed to do, people. Not okay, not oh, I heard this, so that's what it is. No, go look it up. Go look it up. Okay, off my preaching. So I went home, looked it up. I'm like, oh, that's fascinating. And then I went, absolutely not. 17 syllables. Who can write in that little bit of structure and make something, worthwhile? No,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
no, I'm not doing it. No. I immediately said no. And then I was like, why don't you challenge yourself, Kim? Come on, think outside the box. I'm like, no, the box is full. The box is full. I'm not doing it. And then I said, okay, there was a song, which, okay, don't come at me, people. I liked the song at one point, but now, when you hear a song too much, you're like, if I never hear that song again.
Oh yes, I do.
So for me, it was Milkshake because every song was,
Brings all the boys to the yard.
yes. So I said, okay, if you can do one on that, we'll start writing haiku.
Okay. That's a
So
challenge.
yeah, so I challenged myself. I'm like, I couldn't think of it. Then I felt like I got it. And then after that, I started writing. So here's the haiku for that. Obviously. Now, obviously. So I do the non-traditional haiku. Haiku are 17 syllable poems. Unlike most people don't realize, actually, there's more than one type of haiku. It's just the 575 or the 17 syllable haiku is the most popular one for the performing poet. I'm not going to say for everybody because depending on where you are in the world, you would never do a 575. But in the United States, the 575 is the most popular. Traditional ones only on nature, non-traditional ones are actually called Senryu, and they were written to be on human follies. Someone way before me took human follies and said, hey, let's make that everything. So now that's what we pretty much do it on. So this is what I ended up with for the milkshake one. And I say haiku before I join just because I like to, not a mandate. Haiku. Milkshakes may bring boys to the yard, but real men are going to want food.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Real men want food. They don't want a
Yes.
milkshake. What are you talking about? um, so I'm married to a haikuist, and
So you know.
yes, I think it is absolutely amazing the way you can tell an entire story in just those 17 syllables. And so I've gone to his workshop a couple of times and I'm still not good at it. So I just need to practice some more. But yeah, he can tell an entire story in just those 17 syllables. And it's actually pretty powerful that you can use language in that way. So
Yeah,
hats off to you.
yeah, it's fun too. But I will tell people when I give workshops and stuff on that, I say I will warn you. Once you've been haikued, that's you're gonna be someplace going.
Yeah, about everything. Like,
Exactly.
can I do it? Can I do it?
Right.
Yeah.
That's almost it. That's almost yeah.
Yeah. What word can I change?
Right.
It really forces you to know words and language and be able to say a lot with a little.
Yes.
I love it. So now you talked at the beginning and you said that you did a TED Talk.
Hmm.
Tell us a little bit about your TED Talk.
So my TEDx talk, the only distinction is TED is a Pacific channel and TEDx are the regional ones. So
Hmm.
my TEDx talk was on blame. And of course it includes haiku. You know, I'm not going to do anything without haiku. Even my keynotes include haiku. And it's 17 syllables to stop the blame game. And is definitely about ways to which we accept blame and the ways to which we blame others. It covers both.
Wow. Can we hear that haiku?
I'll tell you the haiku I ended the TEDx talk in.
Okay.
Haiku. There is no such thing as the right time, but there is a time you make right.
That's good. It's really good. No such thing as the right time, the time that you make right. Let's go. Yes. Kim B. Miller with the haikus to make you think, make you sit back and think. I think that it's absolutely beautiful that there is not an immediate response when you
Yes.
perform or when you do a haiku, that it takes a minute, like that you have to take a breath or a beat. Um, because you have to digest it. It's like good food. You know what I mean? Like you
Yes.
can't if food is really, really good, you don't talk while you're eating. You know, you you savor that.
Right.
And so that's what I feel when I am listening to your poems and your haiku because I need just that moment. I can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna jump right into the next question because you have to savor that. It's good. Very
Thank you.
good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So now you are a poet laureate emerita.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you who don't know, that just means that a poet laureate that has done their job and is now still in the community, still affecting the community of poetry, but doesn't necessarily still hold that title. So, what are you doing in your county? Because there's two things. You're not only are you a emerita, but you are the only Black person to ever hold that office.
Yes.
So, what are you doing there now for the scene of poetry, and even more specifically, the scene for the Black poets in your city or area?
So I host an open mic every third Monday at Clearbrook Center of the Arts. It's family friendly open mic. And we welcome everyone. Obviously, family friendly means you can bring your kids, and kids do perform sometimes. We've had little kids up there singing, and one young lady who was the featured artist, who I brought in as a featured artist, who played the piano and sang. So I don't just have the open mic. Obviously, they do pay because I have to pay for the space and I pay the featured artist. But it's again, it's a minor amount. I, I know we're all struggling, but it's not like $60. It's normally like 9 for the early bird, 12 for the regular entry, and 15 at the door. So it's nothing astronomical. I'm not saying that it's not hard for some people considering their situation. but I'm also getting different artists who necessarily may not necessarily get a feature someplace else. Some would,
Hmm.
some of them would, because I, bring in the pros as well. But some of them are local kids and stuff who need the opportunity to get in front of people so they can get comfortable and get used to making mistakes. And how am I going to make an entry? And what happens if this happens? It's getting them used to that sort of atmosphere and then giving them the tools they need. Because if you want to, after I'll tell you, hey, maybe do this instead of this. I won't offer it if you didn't ask, because some people, you don't want to offend anyone. But if you're willing to hear, I'm willing to give, because I'm mentoring,
Hmm.
mentoring, mentoring. And there's other people in the community I mentor too, because people reach out to me, I have questions about this. Absolutely. Here's what I think you should do. Boom, 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 boom. Well, can I call you? Sure. Here's my number. So I think that in order to touch people, you got to be willing to hear them out, and they got to be willing to do the work. Now, I won't chase you down. So
That's
if you're
right.
saying, you need help, then you got to meet me halfway. I'm no track star, okay? so so that's some of the ways I do it. And I had free public speaking classes last year, and I'm going to start them up, I think, different intervals this year. And
Okay.
those worked out good. I think I did that for about 9 months, and I did one with a Girl Scout troop last year.
That is absolutely awesome. Okay, so this is going to be very off the wall. It has nothing to do with poetry. So you did this with this Girl Scout troop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I am starting, like I'm understanding that girls can be Boy Scouts now.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
okay.
did you know that?
No.
Okay, so yeah, so Boy Scouts of America, you can be a girl now and become a Boy Scout. Which I know that has nothing to do with anything, but I just would like to know how you feel about it.
Hey, I'm assuming that the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts have different badges and different organizations and stuff they're paired with. So I can see just from the outside look with no knowledge of the
Hmm.
what either one does. I'm assuming they have different badges, different associations. So I can imagine if you're a Girl Scout who's accomplished all these things, you have all your badges, and the boys, and you have a brother or whatever, someone you're associated with. It's like, well, I'm doing this, this, and this. They'd be like, well, dang, I would love to do that as well. So because I don't think they run the same programs, I can see how that could be advantageous for,
Hmm.
even, the boys to go over to, hey, y'all do that? I would love to learn that skill. I think we should make it more skill based so that people can counter the skills,
Hmm.
because what's a girl skill, what's a boy skill?
Uh-huh. You're right. Right. Yeah. I think I I think that was really where my confusion came in, is because it doesn't go the other way.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what the way that I understand it from the girls that I've talked to is, well, we wanted to be able to get the same badges that the boys did about building fires and camping and things like
Right.
that, which is not part of the skills that the Girl Scouts work on.
Ah.
But not a two-way street.
Huh.
And
Now.
so that's where I did not necessarily understand. And not, like I said, this had nothing to do with the poetry. You just mentioned the Girl Scouts of America, and it took my brain there. Sometimes that happens, folks. It just happens.
That's right. Real
And
conversation here, people. Real
this
conversation.
is very just, you made me think about this. I want to know how somebody else feels. So yeah, I could see that. I would love for it to be a two-way street. I think it should be a two-way street, because I
Mhm.
definitely understand. I was a girl who loved doing, I guess, what would be considered boy type things
Right.
growing up, right? I liked fixing cars. I'm an engineer. I love engines and horsepower, and
Right.
I like, my dream is to just take old, like, 1968 Chevy Impalas
Wow.
and work on them and make them awesome. So like,
Go ahead. Go
I was like, if I'm
ahead.
ever rich, and you see a
Right.
whole bunch of like
That's where I'm gonna
antique
find you.
cars, that's where I'm gonna be.
I got it.
Uh, so yeah, I love antique cars and all that good stuff. So being that type of girl, I can understand.
Mm-hmm.
But what if you're a boy that loves to cook,
Right.
and it doesn't come back the other way. So, um, I don't know. That part just always, it made me think, like, because what are girl skills and boy skills,
All right.
and
Skills are skills. And
skills are
who knows? The
skills.
Boy Scouts may even cover cooking and all that stuff. So maybe they don't need the some of the badge work that the girls get. You
Good
know,
point. Yes. I don't know. That's
I don't know
interesting.
either. We
I
just
don't.
talking, people.
We're just talking. We're just
Just
talking out
talking.
here. We're just trying to understand the world a
We
little
just trying
bit.
to figure this stuff out.
So, what role? So, as a Black poet laureate, what do you think if you had to come up with like those five things that Black poet laureates should do? Like, what role do you think that they should play for the community and the area, city, state that they are working?
I think definitely number one is to reach out to everyone. The the soon as a certain particular group, whether it be Black, Latino, Asian, whatever the group is, gets a certain role, the fear is nobody else matters but our group.
Mm-hmm.
We don't think that way. That's what other people assume.
Mm-hmm.
We are happy to be the representative of our area. Just the FYI to people. We don't think that way. That's how some of you think. When we get the role and we're the first, the only, or the second, or the 15th, we don't go, oh, well, time to hook my people up. No, this is not how we do it.
Time to hook them up.
Right. That's all we do. No, no. We're thinking, how do I reach the most people with the time I have allotted? I'm,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to touch people with these words. I'm trying to get people to see poetry differently. I'm trying to get people to understand what spoken word poetry is versus poetry. And for those of you who don't know, a poet basically reads their poem. A spoken word poet is supposed to make you feel their poem. We're not all spoken word poets. So if you
Right.
hire a poet and think you're getting a spoken word poet, you're gonna be like, when are you gonna, you know,
Make me feel something.
right? No, that's not me, and that's okay too. The poetry police will tell you differently, but it's fine to be a poet. It's fine to be who you truly are, because if you start faking, that's worse. That is absolutely worse. Don't do it. Be who you are, and that's
That's
fine.
it.
But I think number one is to represent everybody, and number two is to be true to who you are. Don't dumb down your poems. Don't um make it softer because people are going to be uncomfortable. Oh, I don't want to talk about any Black issues now because I represent everybody. You can still talk about your individual issues and the race of the people or the creed or religion of the people to which you actually represent and still be true to the role that you're in. Now, it
Mm-hmm.
can't be every single poem you do because then it's going to be like, uh, this is a birthday party.
This is a birthday party. Why?
Why you?
Why
That's
so
not the point.
heavy? Why?
Exactly. Could you just
Yes.
bring it down a touch? This is.
Can
And you
you make
also
us laugh a little bit? Yeah.
could you just make a smile? I thought you were gonna have something to do with birthday in your poem. Nah, I gotta straighten everybody out in the barbecue. You know what I mean? It can't be everything. So you want to be also, three is know your audience. If you're in a room with a bunch of kindergartners, are they going to get what you're saying? It's great to do these highbrow, double and triple entendre poems, metaphoric, blah, blah, simile. But you want the people and who you're speaking to identify with. Again, I'm not talking about dumbing down. I'm talking about knowing your audience and understanding where they're coming from. If it's a bunch of children, you don't want to do something that's going to be a hard subject that they're going to have a problem with, sexually explicit or something about harm, somebody, getting cut up and blah, blah. So you want to make your poetry according to the audience you think. And there's nothing to
Good.
do with dumbing it down. It's making it knowing who your audience is.
Mm-hmm.
Four is be fair. When I talk about be fair is don't run yourself into the ground.
Mm.
And the reason why I say that is when you're a certain group, especially someone of color, Black, we are so used to being purposely misunderstood,
Mm.
purposely being put in the wrong box, that we will overwork ourselves to get over that perception. You're not going to
Yes.
see me slacking. You're not going to see me doing next to nothing. Now, the 10 people before us could have done one thing a week and they were considered brilliant. But we're gonna try to do something every day because we want to show you that we deserve this role. We didn't get it because we were Black
Mm.
or Latino or Asian or blah blah. We're gonna show you. No, don't no, no. It'll never be enough for the wrong person.
That's good.
and you'll just be running yourself into the ground. Do what you called to do, of course, because I was I'm an extra too. So I did this, but that's who I am. I didn't do it because people's perception of me was, "Well, why did she get it? Because she got it because she's black." No, I do it this way over extra because that's who I am, not
Mm-hmm.
because that's your perception. And I'm trying to get over your perception. Your perception, you can keep it. I'm just going to do
That's
me,
good.
and you either take me or leave me.
Just do you.
And lastly, let's see. I probably put the last one is to make sure you show up for your people also. What I mean by that is I remember a friend of mine when she found out I was Poet Laureate, and she doesn't even live in this area. She goes, "It is so nice to see someone that looks like me
Mm-hmm.
being Poet Laureate." So don't forget that there may be a little black girl someplace or someone of whatever race or religion you follow that would
Mm-hmm.
need to see that needs to
Yeah.
see that that's possible. It's possible for me to become you.
Yes.
It's possible for me to get a certain title, even if it's not Poet Laureate, but oh, you Poet Laureate, really? And for her it was like, and she said this to me specifically, it's nice to see a dark skinned sister get it. And for
Mm-hmm.
those of you who are not in the black race, there is the, light skin versus brown skin versus dark skin. So there's been that. And there's been a time when someone dark never got certain roles.
Yeah.
So definitely go back and let your people see so that they know possibilities do exist.
I love that. So, highlights. Let's talk highlights. What was your highlight of being Poet Laureate? Like, what one thing just sticks out in your mind? Like, during my term as Poet Laureate, this happened, and I will never forget it.
Ooh, I think it was, there were so many. I'd probably be able to pick a few, but definitely one was going to the schools.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the schools and talk. I love facilitating workshops for kids and performing for kids. And the reason why I do, because first of all, there's for those of you, I don't know what this phrase means. I keep saying I use it, but I'm gonna need to look it up. There's no cut cards with kids. In other words, you either good or you're not. They either like you or you're not. You're not gonna. There's no performative claps or snaps for children. They
Yeah.
either like you or get off. And as a New Yorker, I'm used to that mindset, so I'm good with that. So you go to a kid and you start performing, and they're like, "Yeah," you're like, "Oh, okay, I did all right." And if you don't know, then you're like, "Well, I need to rewrite that one because that one didn't do nothing." So I love kids for that. And then I went to a school in particular and taught them, did a workshop on haiku, and then I left and the I think it was a librarian I was working with reached back out to me and she said, we wrote as the classes that you dealt with wrote over 100 haiku.
Oh my goodness. Were you able to help them publish it?
No, no, it was
Oh,
all
okay.
in-house and stuff. I was just so excited that, they saw that. They got it. And the thing of walking into whether it's young or young at heart and telling them that this is poetry because they're so used to poetry being the flowers and if someone tells me roses are red, they're gonna get okay, so it's blood. Um, just kidding, folks. It's just a joke. It's just a joke, okay? It's just a joke. But not understanding that poetry is not just flowers. It's pain, it's difficulty, it's real life. And then when I'll do a haiku for just girls, and the girls will be like, what? And I'll do a haiku just for the boys, and then I'll do one on Superman and Wonder Woman and all that stuff. They're like, you could do haiku. I said, you could, poetry is whatever you say it is.
Uh,
But if no
that's what
one
our kids
told
got
them
to
that,
hear.
yeah, that they can, well, I can't write poetry because poetry is this
Mm-hmm.
flowery,
Yeah.
pastry, beautifulness that I'm not capable of writing. First of all, I question if you're not capable of it. I question if that's something you want to write about.
Right. You have to find that thing that you want to write about.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Okay, I need you to share another poem with us. Show us what your
Absolutely.
poetry is.
Sure, I'm going to share some haiku, and I already went over what they are. So I'll just say haiku before each one. Haiku. I'll just sit this here. What if God treated you like you treat Black people? Haiku. You love all 50 shades of gray, but you can't deal with one shade of black? Haiku. Why be so concerned with God being able while you're being Cain? Haiku. Audacity is on sale, and you keep buying it. Ain't you broke yet? Haiku. Stop blaming men for having baggage when you have a storage unit. Haiku. Get counseling. Your mate is not your therapist. They are your victim. Haiku. Dear Black people, don't make rules for other Black people. Signed, who asked you? Haiku. You cannot divide yourself into fractions to make someone else whole. Haiku. Math ain't hard. Division can multiply hate if you add ignorance. Haiku. Can't drown out problems with liquor, needles, or pills. Pain will wait for you. Haiku. Stop using excuses to be small and go make reasons to be great. Haiku. If someone says you shine too bright, tell them to take a seat in your shade. And finally, haiku. They thought they broke you, but you are a glow stick. They just exposed your light.
Yeah, I can't. There's so much in those haiku. So I'm just gonna talk about my favorites. Of course,
Okay.
I'm a mathematician, so I love the math one.
Right.
Um, you need to send that to me
Okay.
so that I can adopt it and give you credit because that's one of my favorites.
Thank you.
The speak, did he say get therapy?
Yes.
Oh,
You.
that was it. Yes, get
Yes.
therapy. Your
You.
mate is not your therapist. They're
They are your
your victim.
victim.
That was a good one too. And then that last one you did. If somebody says you're too bright, tell them to take a seat in your shade.
Yes.
Ooh, I love that. That was good stuff.
Thank you.
Okay, so tell us what you have coming up. How can our viewers support you? Where they can find you on social media, all of that good stuff.
Okay. Well, I am going to be one of the keynote speakers at a conference coming up called Married to Your Purpose in February. I will be hosting my open mic the third Monday in February in Clearbrook, Center of the Arts in Lake Ridge, Virginia. So all you people in Northern Virginia, get your tickets, come on by. I also have other events, but you can find all that on my website. I have about 5 books out. I just released last year 2 of my only haiku books. I have books with poems and haiku, but last year I released 2 new haiku books. One is called Brooklyn Flavored Haiku, because that's where I'm from. And that one is family friendly. That one has over 250 haiku.
Wow.
And the second one is called 17 Syllables of Poetic Ammo. That one has over 350 haiku, and that one is not family friendly. So
Okay.
FYI on that one. Now, if you get one, you don't necessarily need the other. So the same haiku that's in Brooklyn are in 17, but 17 has over 100 more that are explicit.
Got you. Okay, okay. So get if you want the explicit ones, you get the 17 syllables. If you want the
Right.
family friendly ones, you get the
Oh,
Brooklyn flavored haiku.
exactly.
And what's your website?
My website is Kim, the letter B, Miller.com. KimBMiller.com. And once you get there, you'll see I also have a tab to my big haiku store. I have an online store that has my haiku on puzzles, on journals, on post that notes, because the other way is trademark, and you don't want to get in trouble with the trademark people because they will come after you. So I have post that notes as well, shirts and other things.
We love it. I love it. I love it. All right, so you all will be able to find the link to Kim B. Miller's website in our description below. And also, I'm going to make sure we get the link to your speaking of Married to Your Purpose. So
Thank you.
would they purchase tickets to come and see you speak there? It's a conference. Can
Yes, it's
anybody
a
attend the conference?
Yes, it's a 1 day conference.
Okay.
Now, I'm one of the keynote speakers for that. So there is a link for that. Actually, I think I removed the link, but I'll make sure I update it on my website, and all the other things can be found under future events. I think that's what I have it labeled as.
All right, all right. And do you have any socials? Facebook,
Yes,
Instagram,
I'm on
Twitter?
Facebook, Instagram, uh, LinkedIn, Amazon. I just got off TikTok, so I'm not on there anymore.
That's a whole nother
Yeah,
interview.
yeah,
Why are
that's a
you
whole
off of
nother.
TikTok?
Exactly. TikTok it TikToked, okay? It ticked and it talked, so it's gone now. I'm not on Twitter either. So yeah, some social media. I'm on some of the other ones, but I don't really get deep into it because people understand social media could be an all-day job. And yeah, you could post the
It
same
is an
thing,
all-day job.
but I'm like, to me, that's pointless. If I'm just gonna have something that pushes the same thing, then what's the point of posting?
That's it.
I know I'm picky, but Kim, you could get this to do it, and you could get AI to do it. Okay, as a poet, I'm only going to use AI for certain things. Okay, that's just me. It's not going to be used to write no poems because then I'm not a poet. AI is a poet.
And not that great of one either. So,
Exactly, which I'm happy about now. I am happy about that.
yes, yes, absolutely. All right. So, thank you, Kim. Kim B.
Thank
Miller,
you, Rhea. Thank
everyone.
you.
Thanks for joining us today, and for making sure that we were entertained with your words, your wisdom, and the work that you do in your community. That is absolutely awesome. I love that you're mentoring young people, and I think that that's definitely something that we should list as a thing that we should do as poet laureates. Um,
Absolutely.
so you've been listening to First Sundays for Black Poet Laureates. To learn more about Kim B. Miller, you can find the link to her website in our description. And there you will find out about all of her upcoming readings and her social media. The National Black Poet Laureate Society is launching our website in 2026. It will be blackpoetlaureates.com, and it will be available in April of this year. We're letting it go for National Poetry Month. And there you'll be able to explore our directory of Black Poet Laureates and learn about any information about upcoming conferences. And you'll be able to pre-order volume 2 of In Fullness of the Word. Kim was in volume 1, so you want to make sure you still go and get that. You can find the link to that book in the description as well. And you can follow us on Facebook because that's where we are. And we also have a Discord. If you would like that information, please reach out to us via email. That's blackpoetlaureates@gmail.com. If you enjoyed this conversation, please subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with your fellow poetry lovers. Join us next month and every first Sunday, but next month we will be with Mr. Samuel Rain, who is a poet laureate in California. I cannot wait to have that conversation with him, and I've enjoyed this one so much. So until next time, keep your words flowing and that legacy growing.